Hi, I'm now talking to Naomi Pohl, who is the General Secretary of the Musicians Union.
Hi.
Nice to see you, Naomi.
Nice to see you too.
We're talking about cash, and especially in relation to street performers. Cash is still very important to them, isn't it?
It is, and busking is a really important kind of method of working and generating money for some of our members.
Yeah.
So particularly actually during the COVID pandemic, busking was actually one of the only ways that some members could make money.
Of course,
so
yeah.
when all of the venues were closed, being in an outside space and performing was really important. And I think it's important to the whole culture of a town centre as well. You know, we know that high streets are suffering, but busking, it kind of gives that vibrancy to a local high street.
I love seeing buskers, it's brilliant. So how many buskers are there in the country now?
Well, we've got a lot of buskers in our membership, so I don't know the exact figure across the country.
Maybe hundreds, or will it? Thousands?
Yeah, well, and some of our members, they might play weddings, and they might do other kind of
course,
work.
yeah.
They might teach music, but they might also do a bit of busking as well.
Yeah.
So it's still an important area of work for musicians, and it is still cash reliant.
Yeah.
So you do see buskers in the stations, you know, Transport for London, we've actually got a deal with them for buskers to try and enable busking to happen. But a lot of the time people might want to give a couple of pounds out of their pocket, but they don't necessarily want to swipe their card. So
yeah, I mean, partly of it could be how much they want to give, but also some people are still worried about the security arrangements, aren't they? You tap your card. Obviously, buskers aren't generally well known to. It's not like going to the same shop all the time. So probably people are happier using cash, aren't they, in many ways?
I think so. I mean, you do see buskers sometimes selling CDs as well, and you can swipe for that. But you know, obviously when people used to carry cash and have a note in their pocket, it was a bit easier to have that transaction. And I agree, I think people feel more nervous maybe about a card that potentially the card reader could take their personal information. So, you know.
So one of the things we highlight is there's so many small things in society, like the tooth fairy, that disappear if you haven't got cash. It would be terrible if busking disappeared, street performance disappeared because cash no longer existed, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
An awful loss.
Yeah, well, I've got young children, so I totally understand the tooth fairy issue. And it is for busking. I think it's an area of musicians' work that is still quite cash reliant.
Yeah. So we found when we surveyed Labour MPs before the general election that 60% plus were in favour of a law guaranteeing the public could use cash. Would you be in sympathy with that?
Yes, I think so, and I know it's an issue for older people as well. So yeah, I do understand that that's something that's still important to people, and people just want to have as much choice as possible.
I agree. Thank you very much, Naomi. Thanks.